All right, so in this video, we're going to talk real briefly about significance levels. How low does that p-value need to be before you reject it, right? So basically what we're doing is drawing a line in the sand here. We need for our data to be what's called statistically significant in order for us to reject the null. And in order for that, our p-value has to fall below a certain point. In a lot of statistics, that certain point is 5%. Because remember, when we talked about probability, we said things were unusual if the probability of whatever the event was happening was less than 5%, right? But the answer really is more of, well, it depends. It depends. The most common values for us to, for our p-value, for our probability of getting the sample that we did, if the null hypothesis is true, that probability needs to be below what we call an alpha level. Oops, he's doing that to me. Okay, here we go, highlighter. We call it alpha level. And of course, alpha is the Greek letter that looks like a fish, so alpha level. Also called a significance level. And so basically, if your p-value falls below whatever the alpha level is, we're going to reject the null. If it is above whatever your alpha level is, we're going to fail, not fall, fail to reject the null. Don't say except. So do not say accept the null. That is very bad. Okay, more on that later. Not in this video. Okay, so 5% is a really common value to use, but 10% is also pretty common. And if you need to be really sure about, something, you might go for 1% confidence level, or not confidence level, significance level. You'll note that these are all the complements to our most common confidence levels of 99%, 95%, and 90%. And that's part of the reason why we say that a hypothesis test and a confidence interval are coming at the same problem from opposite directions. Okay, so in a class like this, I'm almost always going to set the significance level. I'm going to say at an alpha level or at a significance level of 5%, what's your conclusion, right? And so if your p-value is less than 5%, reject the null. If it's more than 5%, you're going to not reject the null. You're going to fail to reject the null. Now, out in the real world, what should that confidence level, sorry, I keep saying confidence level, what should that significance level be? It depends on the problem and the consequences if you're wrong, okay? And we're going to talk later about what's called type 1 and type 2 error. Those play into this, hey, what confidence significance level should you choose? But basically start usually with a 5% alpha level, significance level. And, depending on what the problem is, if your consequences are, severe, if you reject it when you shouldn't have, or vice versa, you may want to go down to 1%, up to 10%. I don't know that I've ever seen anything, maybe a 2% alpha level, but I don't think I've seen anything more than these three really ever, okay? So this is, where do we go from thinking, oh, it's sampling variability to, oh, it's not just sampling variability, it's evidence of something else, that our hypothesis was wrong, right? And usually right around 5% is that dividing line. You might take it up to 10, you might take it down to 1%, but usually right around 5. All right, so that's it on what's called the alpha level or significance level.